Hello, friends. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betkraft. Okay, today is a very beautiful Friday morning, and we've come once again for our usual football predictions. All right, we know a lot of games going on across the globe, and among these many, we were able to select a few of them that we looked into deeply and before bringing it forward for you. And in a short while, we'll be looking at these matches one after the other. Quite exciting matches, I must tell you. But I want to ask those of us who are coming across our videos for the first time that are yet to subscribe to kindly take our time to hit the subscription button right now so that you don't miss out on our subsequent games that will always come up on this channel on a daily basis. All right, have you done that? Okay, I'm waiting. All right, you've done that. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. Without further ado, let's head to the business of today. And, we'll be starting with the very first match for today. It is in Bundesliga where we'll have Borussia Dortmund will be up against Bochum. Okay, as usual, we'll take a look at how these two teams have performed in recent times, and as well as the performances from home and away perspective, and we'll all bring this together to make our verdict for each of these very matches. And they're looking at the home side in this one. Borussia Dortmund in the last 6 games have been able to manage to achieve 4 victories in the past 6 recent encounters, but they've also had 1 draw as well as 1 loss in the last 6 recent encounters for Borussia Dortmund, the home side. And they're looking at Bochum at the other end, the away side. They've won 1 match in the past 6 games. They've also had 1 draw, but they've lost 4 out of those 6 recent encounters. And looking at how these two teams have performed from home and away perspective, you could see, playing from home, Borussia Dortmund have been able to manage 7 victories in the last 10 home games that they had. The only loss that they had was against Real Madrid in the Champions League finals. And we also saw them having 1 draw against Villarreal. That was, pre-season friendly. And the last 3 home games that they played so far have seen them winning all 3. That tells you that Borussia Dortmund, as we know, is a very top side, and they're doing very well at the moment. And looking at the away side, Bochum have been able to achieve 5 victories from away, but they've also had 1 draw, and also they've lost 4 games in the last 10 away games that they played out so far. And as a matter of fact, the last 3 away games that they had have resulted to a loss for them. In the last 5 away games that they had, they've lost 4 out of those 5, and they've won 1. Okay, and when you look at how these two teams have performed from head-to-head perspective, the last time they met, you see that it is Borussia Dortmund who had the upper hand on that occasion, winning that very tie by 3-1. And prior to that, we saw them playing out a 1-1 draw that was in August last year. All right, but in this very one, we expect the home side, Borussia Dortmund, who are in fine form at the moment, to rise to the occasion and achieve a result against this side, against the Bochum in this very encounter. So it is a home win. That's our verdict for that very game. And in this very one, the next game that we have is actually in the Serie A, where we have AC Milan coming up against Lecce. All right, AC Milan have achieved 2 victories in the past 6 recent games. They've also had 2 draws as well as 2 losses. And Lecce, on the other hand, have managed to achieve 1 victory. They've lost 3 times, and also they've had 2 draws in the last 6 recent games that they had so far. So when you look at how these two teams are fared, playing from home and away respectively, you can always see that Milan, the home side, have been able to achieve 4 victories in the past 10 home games that they had. They've also had 3 draws as well, and have lost 3 times also in the last 10 home games that they had. And they've been averagely, they've not been at their best this season, actually. And looking at Lecce, on the other hand, Lecce have won 3 games from away. They've also lost 4 games from away, and they've had 3 draws in the past 10 away games that they had so far. And when you look at how these two teams perform from home and away perspective, from head-to-head perspective, actually, you could see that it is Milan who had the upper hand the last time they met. We saw Milan defeating this side by 3-0. Prior to that, they played out a 2-2 draw. And we also it also followed by a victory for Milan, 2-0 against Lecce. So it seems to be each time Milan plays from home, they always have upper hand against these guys, Lecce. And so in this very one, seeing that Milan is actually playing from home, we expect to see a lot more from AC Milan in this very one. They've been looking to achieve a comprehensive win against this Lecce side, in order to push them forward this very season. So in this very game, we expect a home side winning out in this very one. It is home win, that's our verdict. And that takes us to the next for the day. It is in French League One, where we have Paris Saint-Germain, who will be laying out against Rennes. All right, Paris Saint-Germain have won 5 games in the last 6 recent matches, and they've also had 1 draw as well. And when you look at Rennes, their away side have had 2 victories, 2 losses, as well as 2 draws in the past 6 recent encounters for the away side. And then when you look at how these 2 teams have performed from home and away perspective, it is Paris Saint-Germain who have been able to manage 5 victories in the last 10 home games that they had so far. They've also had 2 draws as well as 3 losses in the past 10 home encounters. And in the last 3 home games they played out so far, have actually seen them winning all 3. That tells you that they're doing very well, especially when they're playing from home. And looking at Rennes, their away side have won 2 games from away. They've had 1 draw, but they've lost a whopping 7 games. That says that 70% of the away games that they played out so far have resulted to a loss for their away side. That's not a very good record. And when you look at how these 2 teams are fared from head to head, you could see that the last time they met was this year, April. We saw Paris Saint-Germain achieving a victory against this side on that occasion by 1-0. But that was in the cup match, Coupe de France on that occasion. And prior to that, we saw them playing in the 1-1 draw, but also in October last year, we saw Paris Saint-Germain defeating this side by 3-1. So in this very encounter, we will expect the home side, who are actually fairly doing well from home at the moment, to also achieve a result from home. And it is a home side to win, Paris Saint-Germain to win outrightly. That's what it is for that very encounter. All right, and that takes us to the next for today, and it is in French League 2, where we have Grenoble Foot, who will be at home coming up against Clermont Foot, their away side. And looking at Grenoble Foot, the home side, they've been able to manage 3 victories in the last 6 games. They've also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw. And their away side, on the other hand, Clermont have managed just 1 win, 2 draws, but have lost 3 games in the past 6 recent games that they had so far. And when you look at how these 2 teams have fared from home and away perspective, it is the home side, Grenoble Foot, who have been able to achieve 5 victories in the last 10 home games. They've also had 3 draws as well as 2 losses playing from home in the last 10 home encounters. And looking at their away side, Clermont Foot, they've been able to manage just 1 victory, 2 draws, and have lost 7 games in the last 10 away games that they played out so far. That tells you much about this away side. It shows that playing from away, they've actually lost 70% of their away games. That's a whole lot. And but for the home side, in the last 5 home games, have actually produced 4 wins for the home side and 1 draw. All right, that tells you that playing from home, they're having a better momentum when they're playing from home, and they're winning their home matches. Okay, and the last time they met at this very venue, which was last 2 years, in July 2022, we saw Grenoble defeating the side by 1-0 from home. So in this very encounter, we will expect the home side, Grenoble, to achieve a result in this one. And in this very game, we will expect to see the home side either winning or draw and under 4.5. That's what for that very game. Home win or draw and under 4.5. That's what we expect. All right, and that will take us to the next game today, and it is in the Turkish League, in the Turkish League 1, where we have not the top flight, not the Super League, but the second division, where we have Igdir coming up against Erzurumspor. All right, pardon me about the names out there, but these names are very difficult to pronounce. And when you look at the home side, Igdir, all right, they've won 3 games in the past 6, and they've also had 2 losses as well, and 1 draw in the past 6 games that they had in recent times, and meaning that they won half of their past 6 games. All right, and looking at their away side, BB Erzurumspor, their away side have had 3 wins and also 3 losses in the last 6 recent encounters. And when you look at how these 2 teams perform from home and away perspective, you could see that playing from home, the home side, Igdir, have been able to achieve 6 victories in the last 10 home games that they had. They've also had 3 draws but 1 loss in the last 10 home games. That tells you that this home side is actually a very good side. They've lost just 1 game, but they've been able to win 60% of their past 10 home games that they have so far. That tells you a lot about the side. And away side, on the other hand, Erzurumspor have managed to achieve 2 victories from away, 1 draw, but have lost 7 games. As a matter of fact, the last 6 away games that they played out so far have seen them losing all 6. That tells you that this team is not the very best side, especially when they're playing from away. And they've lost 70% of the away games that they have so far. All right. When you put all that together, we'll be expecting a result for the home side in this very one. And in this very game, our verdict is actually the home side to win. Okay. The home side to win outrightly. That's our verdict for this very game. All right. That brings our predictions for you today on Betkraft to a conclusion. Okay, I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope your ticket goes green. Remember to also bet responsibly. These are football games. Sometimes things do happen, and the entire thing, changes the entire course of the entire match. You see that happen most of the time. So, but we expect to, achieve, success in this very one. And but I'm only telling you to be very careful. What you bet. So tomorrow is another day. We'll be coming up with our predictions, and also I wouldn't want you to miss out. But until then, keep winning.